You ever have that feeling where you should be relaxed, but your mind just refuses to get the memo? What if the real reason you can't find that inner peace isn't because your life is just too crazy, but because you've been looking for it in all the wrong places? We're going to break down a simple, powerful blueprint for building your own calm, not just hoping you find it. So, does this sound familiar? You finally carve out a moment for yourself, but you can't actually relax. There's just this constant, low-level hum of stress in the background that never, ever seems to switch off. You know, you sit down to watch a movie, but you're secretly replaying a conversation from earlier. Or you're trying to listen to a friend, but you're also thinking about your to-do list. It feels like your mind is literally everywhere except for right here, right now. And at the end of the day, you are just completely drained. You're exhausted, but you can't get that deep, real rest. You're tired, but you're also kind of wired. It's this maddening paradox, isn't it? And this right here, this is the fundamental shift we need to make. Inner peace isn't some treasure you stumble upon if you're lucky. No, it's something you build. It's a structure. It's a system you have to intentionally design for your own life, piece by piece. So if we're building a house of peace, where do we lay the foundation? You'd probably think it starts with some mental trick or a meditation app, but you'd be wrong. It actually starts with something way more basic, something most of us just completely ignore. Okay, here's rule number 1, and it is a big one. A tired body creates a chaotic mind. We act like our mind is just this piece of software running on whatever hardware we give it. But they're not separate. They're deeply connected. You absolutely cannot have a calm mind if you're running it in a neglected body. And this isn't some vague idea, right? It's a literal chain reaction. If you don't get enough quality sleep, your ability to handle your emotions just tanks. You get irritable. You get unstable. You fuel yourself with junk food, you get brain fog, you get low energy. And if you don't move, stress hormones like cortisol literally get trapped in your system with nowhere to go. It's a physical problem that needs a physical solution. So the whole takeaway here is to just flip the question you've been asking. Stop asking, how do I calm my mind? And start asking, how am I taking care of my body? Forget fighting this uphill mental battle. Just fix the physical foundation first. Because when your body feels right, the mind has a funny way of following right along. Okay, so once that physical foundation is a little more solid, now we can move up to the next layer, the mind itself. And, the problem for most of us isn't that we aren't trying to be calm, it's that our minds are completely untrained. I mean, seriously think about it. When was the last time you did just one thing? When you were eating your last meal, were you just eating? Or were you also watching something, scrolling your phone, and planning your next day? This constant splintering of our attention is the real source of overwhelm. A scattered mind is always a stressed mind. And let's be honest, we've gotten addicted to distraction because silence can feel, a little uncomfortable. In the quiet, we actually have to face our own thoughts. So we run, we escape into noise. But here's the key difference. Distraction doesn't solve stress, it just pushes it down the road. Silence, that's the reset button. That's where clarity comes from. But you've got to be willing to sit with it for a minute. Which brings us to meditation. But wait, before you tune out, let's completely reframe what this is. This is not about emptying your mind or finding some magical state of bliss. Forget all that. Think of meditation as a workout for your brain. It's mental resistance training. It's how you build the actual muscle of focus. And the workout itself? It's ridiculously simple. 1, you sit down. 2, you try to focus on something simple like your breath. 3, and this is going to happen, your mind wanders off. Now that moment, step 3, that's not a failure. That's the opportunity for a rep. The real exercise is step 4, the act of gently and without judging yourself, bringing your attention back. That is the bicep curl for your brain. That's the moment you get stronger. So you're working on your body. You've started training your mind. You're feeling pretty good. But now you have to play defense. Because the second you start building this inner peace, the outside world is going to actively try and tear it down. And this is so important to understand. That constant state of distraction you're living in, it's not a personal failure. It is by design. There are entire industries worth trillions of dollars whose main goal is to capture and sell your attention. Your peace just isn't profitable to them. And these are their weapons. Every single buzz, every notification, every infinite scrolling feed, they're all perfectly engineered to create a little dopamine loop that keeps you hooked, keeps you coming back. All this constant switching just fractures your attention and completely destroys any chance of deep thought or real calm. But look, the threat isn't just digital, it's also analog. Your social environment is just as powerful. The people you choose to surround yourself with have a direct and profound impact on your internal state. You just can't maintain a peaceful mind if you're swimming in a chaotic environment. So, you've got to take an honest look at your relationships. Who in your life leaves you feeling energized and understood? Those are your peace givers. And who consistently leaves you feeling drained, stressed out, or negative? Those are the chaos creators. And remember, protecting your peace isn't selfish. It's essential for survival. It means setting boundaries and choosing to invest your time in people who build you up, not those who wear you down. All right, we've covered the body, the mind, and the environment. Now let's pull all of these threads together into one final, actionable blueprint for building a life of actual, sustainable calm.
And this brings us to what might be the ultimate skill. Look, the world is always going to be a wild, unpredictable ocean. Waves of stress are going to come. Things are going to go wrong. Trying to control the ocean? That's a recipe for misery. The only thing you ever really have power over is how you choose to steer your own boat, your internal response.
So how do you actually do that in the heat of the moment, with something called the power of the pause? Between any event and your reaction, there's a tiny little space, and here's how you find it. A stressful thing happens. Instead of that immediate, knee-jerk reaction, that flash of anger, that jolt of anxiety, you just pause. Take one single breath. You observe that automatic reaction bubbling up, and then you choose a conscious response. That moment of choice, that's freedom.
So this is it. This is the whole system. This isn't one little trick. It's a whole new operating system. You start with your body, then you train your mind for presence, and you learn to use silence. And finally, you practice controlling your reactions and defending your attention with strong boundaries. Every single step builds on the one before it, creating this resilient structure for your peace.
Because at the end of the day, it really all boils down to this one simple truth. Where your attention goes, your life follows. Your attention is your most valuable currency. It's the raw material that you use to build your reality. By choosing, deliberately, again and again, where you invest it, on your health, on your presence, on what really matters, you stop searching for peace. You start building it every single